What a wonderful world. Reuben and the dark. I thought I made a clean break, that I'd listened to my higher guidance and made it to higher ground, which technically I did, just not the higher ground I expected. It started with a vision, triggered by a pandemic. I was in the corpse pose in my yin yoga class, one of the few remaining members who showed up that day. Before the studio was mandated to close, before masks were mandated to be worn, before vaccines were mandated to be taken, the no man dates zone. When I actually was with my man date, the man who was my chosen partner, the perfect lockdown companion in a yin class, together in the corpse pose. Tears streamed down my face. From nowhere, confusion rushed my brain. My inner committee came to full order, demanding my body release whatever information was the cause of this leak. A montage of clipped scenes, a memory of volunteering at a shelter for Hurricane Katrina victims, and a little boy who guided me through the experience. A memory of 9/11. At the college campus, I worked in a psychology clinic. Walking through the campus that day felt strange. I entered the common room. It was filled to the walls with students watching large screen TVs of the World Trade Center, first tower, billowing with black smoke. A memory of the day my father died, and the day I had a miscarriage. My inner committee nodded in unison. Yes, that would cause tears, but why now? These were events that were tragic, that started large, even having global impact, and narrowed down to something very personal. What was I being shown? What was going to unfold that was both global and personal? When I returned home, I went into my meditation. What did these memories have to do with what was unfolding? Before mandates, I was dropped into a scene, dark, ominous. I focused. A forest emerged. It was dark. What was causing so much darkness? I looked up. A hurricane was overhead, moving slow, no rain, no thunder, just a dark, slowly swirling funnel. I shifted my focus to the horizon and noticed movement behind the trees. I watched and saw people jetting out from the trees, grabbing barrels, and pulling back behind the trees. Oh no. Am I being shown I need to prepare for some major cataclysm? As the question formed in my mind, I was turned 180 degrees and started to float away towards a beautiful snow-scaped mountain surrounded by sun, far away from the hurricane. My body was tucked into a valley, held by this beautiful landscape. I wondered if this meant I was going to die. I didn't ask because it felt so peaceful. This snowy tundra, away from the chaos in the preppers, bustling about in the forest. When I came out of my meditation, I had a strong urge to send a message to my people that came to about 100. Clients, friends, family. I blind CC'd everyone and shared the news. Later, I was thankful many of these 100 had a filter in their email to place group messages into spam. I was less thankful some of my clients did not have that filter. Maybe it was because of who I was to them. It turned out there was a known defect in Microsoft Outlook that showed all emails even though they were blind CC'd, which is a HIPAA violation. I followed the guidelines and rectified what I could, but the deed was done. A moment in time irrevocably marked in a moment of panic. But these were panicked times, and grace was given to those who requested. I had no idea what it all meant. What did it mean to head for the hills? I had clients to see, children to care for, groceries to buy, and I continued all of these things and turned away as much as I could from the world turning against one another, of the ones who followed the mandates and the ones who didn't, because it's my work in the world to not judge, but to observe and wonder and be there for so many who were directly impacted. And when the dust looked like it was settling, I had a direct hit. A year following the global blow that had little to do with the global blow because I was far removed in my Snow White sanctuary. My lockdown companion hit the road. A business partnership blew up, and my sweet pup passed away, all within a month. and I still had clients to see, children to care for, and groceries to buy. But when I got home and the kids were fed and tucked in, and my clients were guided and the groceries were put away, I curled up on my couch and searched for something to watch that wouldn't bring me into the hurricane forest world. Because I know I can curate my space, even after loss. If I give myself rest and space, I will discover beauty and peace, like the snow-capped mountains, and a feeling of calm, which led me to you, the perfect post-pandemic, post-Snow White companion. Hey guys, how's it going? It's how you start all your videos. Videos you and your husband created years prior to my discovery, because I wasn't into gardening, because I had clients to see, children to care for, groceries to buy, a partner to have dinner with, a business I supported, and yoga I attended. But the hole was blown in my life that was going to be filled by plants. You have nearly 2 million followers and too many videos for me to count. I could probably do the math. Now your 10th year with 6 videos a week, although it used to be 7, but you needed a break since you started your channel. You've had 2 kids. A rounded estimate with this data calculates to 3,120 videos. During the day, I'd head to the nursery and return home to dig holes and add fertilizer and plant. During the night, after the kids were fed and tucked in, and my clients were guided and the groceries were put away, I curled up on the couch and watched one of those 3,120 videos. You filled a hole in my world, one the birds and the bees and squirrels truly appreciated. And so did I. As I marveled at the hundreds of bulbs that rise, heralding spring, and the end of a long, cold, dark winter, life renewed. Because that's what life does, after what looks to be dead. And what I did when I couldn't die, wouldn't die. Unlike when I was a teen and longed to die, I even tried several times because I was so disheartened by this world, so heartbroken by how people treated each other. But I now had kids and clients and friends and family and a garden to nurture, my Garden of Eden, and a realization from these very things, I am a creator. I even watched your second channel, the recap channel, which technically is counted in my video estimate above. I love watching you and Aaron banter. At first he was camera shy. He preferred to stay behind the scenes, but over time your husband has warmed to us all. I find his perspective refreshing, like the time someone commented critically about your kids being in the videos and Aaron said, "First, it's none of your business." You were asked a question on one of your videos why you needed electricity to get water to work. After explaining you were on a well and electricity was needed to pump the water out, you and Aaron went down a rabbit hole of the preppers. Aaron mentioned he likes to hear how people prepare for cataclysmic events. He loves to think about that stuff, although he admitted he wasn't interested in becoming a prepper because he really didn't think about it. I'm not prepared for the end of the world, but I'm interested to see how people do it. It's not something you like to think about, but you want to support your husband and not cut him off when he goes down a hole you don't particularly like. He continued down his hole. Every once in a while, I ask people for fun if they have ever thought of it. It's crazy how people haven't thought it through. You laughed as you gave your perspective. Nice, super fun, light topic. He continued. You've got to think. You have to be able to defend your property. You have to have a water source that you can defend. You have to have a power source that you can defend. Everything comes down to defense. If you can't defend your property, no one's going to fare well. Your 2 cents on the topic? You never know. What I know is how you and your family have created your land, that your defense is your caring hearts, that your fences are there not to defend, but to show what you are taking responsibility for, and how you inspire all of us to use our fences, not as a defense, but as a place to curate, a place to make beautiful. I didn't take up arms or get into the fray when it all went down for me. Instead, I was inspired by you to create a space that was inviting to the birds and bees and squirrels. And my life was filled with love, which is what creates my world.